You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Laec.
Together we are How's every single one of you? Welcome to another NXT review. A pretty good show, the go-home show for what is going to be NXT TakeOver in your house. A lot of hype for all the matches. Some matches added, some other ones, stipulations were added. So pretty good show. Like you said the last time we did NXT, this show has benefited so much from the move to Tuesdays. No more competition. They don't have to worry about AEW, and that actually is showing every single week.
Yeah, I enjoyed this episode. Like you said, every match on the card for NXT TakeOver in your house was either promoted in some way, whether it's video package, like you said, new stipulation, whatever. They hyped every match up. They, kind of gave you some matches leading into it. We saw stuff, and they also hyped up what's going to be the main event and, for next week's NXT show and some of the matches on that card and future, what I'm trying to say, future feuds, that's what I'm trying to say. But, this was a really good episode of NXT. I did enjoy it. A couple things here and there, but overall,
there was one thing that was kind of like, why isn't this part of the show? But you know what? We're not going to be too critical. We're not going to be nitpicking. Thank you to every single one of you for making this your number one house. Thank you. Like I said, we have content all over the place. Soccer, all wrestling, everything. You name it, we're right here for it. You want to see an opportunity, you want to see a shot of that? Monday Night Raw, the worst show in professional wrestling yet. Jean-Paul Laec covers it every single week. No wonder nobody watches, right? A freaking doll is, taking care of the show. What do you think?
Yeah, Monday Night Raw, 3 hours of just, really awful, just not good wrestling. And it's a shame because this is, supposed to be the flagship show. On this week's episode, only things of note: Viking Raiders, new number one contenders. McIntyre and Lashley signed the contract. And Shayna Baszler puts over a doll, superpowers in the main event. So, yes, that's the main event. But instead of watching this show for 3 hours, sit down with Jean-Paul for 20 minutes to check out Monday Night Raw's review.
I'd rather watch the 20 minutes with Jean-Paul any time of the day. You know what? So thank you for being with us. Paul, tell me a little bit about how the NXT started. We watched this, like a stare down between the two of them. They went into a brawl, and now they finally turned it out into a match. And that's Austin Theory against Oni Lorcan. Two pretty good wrestlers, and they showed in this kind of match. And, they had been also, the championship feud, the Fatal 5-Way for the NXT Championship. So they did this pretty good. I like the Spanish Fly. A lot of, really good interactions between them. And on the outside, we got to see Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, I would have rather just seen these two guys just kind of go at it. We don't get the interference, don't get all the distractions and everything, especially because that's what caused the outcome of this match. But no, like you say, Austin Theory, like I said, he's in there throwing hands. He's taking shots, giving shots back to Oni Lorcan, and Oni Lorcan's been known as a brawler, a fighter. So they're like, Austin Theory, hey, he's more than a good-looking kid. This guy can fight. This guy can scrap. So, Austin Theory made a name for himself. I love that, springboard, like you said, Spanish Fly. He does kind of remind me, if RVD was going to do a Spanish Fly, that's how he would do it. But this was really good match, besides the distractions coming out, which eventually that's what cost Austin Theory. He was looking over
between these two guys. So you said, it has to be like that. Yes.
Yeah, and then he saw Gargano, he got distracted. So he ate the pin, which is a good win for Oni Lorcan. And, I don't know really what it does to me. Austin Theory should go over. He's the future. But, it was what it was. This match really didn't have any, implications to anything. So I was like, yeah, whatever.
It was just, like I said, They needed to hype, the main event. You need to have the pay-per-view. You need to have matches in between. At least you can write the show. Because you're not going to have the guys that are involved in TakeOver, fight each other or something. So, it's good that they use the other guys. Hey, I'll just pretend you're upset at each other. That's fine. So that's what they did. In the end, like you said, Oni Lorcan gets the win. Austin Theory, they still have the allegations. They're still mad about that. He has not been able to break up from that. If you don't believe me, ask the Velveteen Dream. So let's go to a guy that actually dates, about everything that is on people with age, in the normal age. L.A. Knight. He had a promo, and he's, with Cameron Grimes, they want to try to fight. They're going to have that match on NXT TakeOver in your house. So who's going to carry the legacy of the $1 Million Man? And I love this promo, girls, all of that. Kind of like where Damian Priest used to be, remember? Like, really cool stuff. I really love this.
Yeah, this was good, and I like how they did. We get later on the same thing with Cameron Grimes, and you see how like they're different and everything. You see LA Knight, he fits the part. He looks good with the ladies in the hot tub, the cars and everything. This was good. I like this, and like I said, every match, that's a big. Well, pretty much every match on the pay-per-view had some sort of hype, something leading, making it feel special. Not like we see on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, where they really only hype the main event, and then the other matches are, oh yeah, we'll just throw them on the show. Who cares?
No, yeah, it's true. Like you said, we got to see Cameron Grimes doing the same thing. LA Knight more, like you said, everything like makes sense. The millionaire chicks, everybody loves him. Like he has a hot tub, all of that. Cameron Grimes he has everything, but everything kind of like seems out of place. He doesn't belong there.
Yeah, so he's like smoking he's smoking the cigar, but he coughs on it. He's like, yeah, I smoke a Cuban, right? Like you, Ted. And he drinks the scotch or the whiskey, whatever it is, and he's like, oh, this is strong. He says to the girl, he's like, did you try this? He's like, this is awful, and he's like, yeah.
Like when he's getting the massage and like the girl is going really hard at him, he's like,
and then he's massaging the chick and stuff. Like it's good. It's Cameron Grimes. That's how he really gets over. He's great in the ring, but the guy's so funny, so charismatic. They really use that to his strength to get him over.
Exactly. Cameron Grimes. We're going to talk about a little bit more about this match because actually a big stipulation was added. There were reports that we're going to bring the $1 Million Championship. So like really, really good stuff on that. I'm really loving that NXT, like you said, is really getting back to the way that it used to be. If you don't believe me, Legado del Fantasma. We mentioned this. You wanted it to happen. You said, hey, make it winner takes all. They did it. Thank you, NXT. Thank you, Triple H, for watching Raw Break. They were calling out Bronson Reed, the Colossal. As soon as he says Colossal, can I finish the promo, right? Can I finish what I have to say? Because the guy shows up. Hey, shows footage of how like he pretty much splashed Santos Escobar and all of that. And, they have like just, words, all of that. But I finally said, why don't you just put the titles on the line? Because MSK came out also. And in the end, it turns out to be winner takes all. 6-man tag. I'm loving this. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like this because, how legit is Legado del Fantasma, how professional, just how, I know I already said, but just they feel so legit in the suits. They feel like, okay, this is an actual group of guys. They mean business. They're all serious. And then you see Bronson Reed. He's like, I pretty much said that he made him shit his pants because he used his 500 pounds to squash him against the wall. And he's like, oh, yeah, MSK, they come out. And I love the line where Santos is like, I should have known you two guys were going to come out. Like, I should have just expected it because, you're just bullshit. Y'all stick together. So you want to stick together. How about, all the titles on the line? And as soon as MSK came out, I actually thought that in my head. I was like, just do a winner take all. Because you can get the belts off MSK and you can get the belt back on, or take the North American Championship and get it on Santos without Bronson Reed even getting pinned. This is the perfect way to do it. I don't know if they're going to, but I would. I think you got to have Legado draped in gold. That will really solidify them as like, hey, these guys, they all kind of started off on their own. You brought them together, and look how legit they are.
Exactly. And, they've been together for quite a while now. It's like a year and a half, so they need like something like this. They need that big step. This is the culmination of what Legado del Fantasma is. So I'm really looking forward to that. But they also like a stare down. You see like Isaiah Swerve Scott came out, so we got a stare down with Santos Escobar, Legado del Fantasma, with his group to throw in. And also like we got another stare down with MSK. So like there's a lot of tag teams involved in this division finally. Remember a few months ago we said there's nobody here. There's only 2 teams. Now there's a lot of teams. So that was really good. And Isaiah Swerve Scott kind of match with Killian Dane. This was okay, 2 seconds. Who cares? Killian Dane and Dre Maverick, unfortunately, completely lost. Nobody cares about the gimmick. Nobody likes this. It's not even relatable. So at least for me, but like they gave the win to Isaiah Swerve Scott, so that makes a lot of sense. Like, of course, Dre Maverick caused the distraction. Killian Dane playing like a dumb baby face, a big insecurity. That's his finisher, right? Something like that. He hit actually the turnbuckle. 1, 2, 3. Isaiah Swerve Scott get the win.
Yeah, he needed to, and I like this, when Hit Row came out, got in the face of MSK too, because it's like, hey, like you said, we're here in the tag division, and it's like, they're pretty much saying, you're the champs, even though hopefully they'll be looking at Legado del Fantasma instead of, MSK.
Nobody wants MSK.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I like this, because you have 2 guys in this group, you have Swerve, you have the girl, so like we said, this is a really good group. Isaiah needed to win here. That's what he did. I've been a fan of Isaiah Swerve Scott for a while, so I'm fine with this. This is good.
It's really good. So let's transition to like Poppy. Why is Poppy there? Nobody knows. I mean, the girl can barely talk. I don't know how she's a singer. Hi, Jean Paul. Hi. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like she's right there in the building. So we're going to talk a little bit about her. But before that,
well, she's in gimmick. You got to think maybe she's in gimmick.
Is the gimmick? No wonder like she was flirting with like Dexter Lumis. So might as well just talk about this. Triple H is talking to her and William Regal. Hey, you have this soundtrack for NXT, and then all of a sudden the guy that has the same syndrome as like Orange Cassidy. Now he actually talks to these drawings. That's the way he communicates. He has a drawing of Poppy, and like thank you. They hug, and then you see like Indy Hartwell. Indy was like kind of trying to look for Dexter because she feels that like there's still something between them. But there you go. She sees that. Oh my God, done. So they keep this love. I don't want to say living love triangle, but this love story between the two. And I don't know. Like for me, it's not really working. Dexter Lumis, like he goes from a psychopath to a guy that like can even get a chick. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that once this storyline wears off for the people who like it, you're gonna look at Dexter Lumis and be like, okay, now what do we do with this guy? Yes. Yeah, this like kills him. You almost have to do a whole gimmick change. This is like Otis and Mandy. When you took Mandy away from Otis felt like shit. Even though he wasn't, it's just that's how he felt. So then they had to change him heel. He had to team up with Gable for us to finally be like, oh, okay. Now he's starting to feel like legit again with Dexter Lumis once this storyline goes.
And it took a long time.
Yeah, he's not going to feel like anything. I mean, I guess the one cool thing I do like some of her songs, I must admit, but she did, I guess, drop the album, in NXT. It was available for download and stuff then, so that was kind of cool.
On Spotify and everywhere. Yeah, every single outlet. No, please, on Robert.
And then the whole time where Triple H is trying to put her over, Regal's in the back like...
It's like, wonder who this girl is, like, is she signed? And like, where's not the Performance Center here? Below, proper to the Performance Center. Yeah, I don't know. But that's what they did. Fine, like they gonna keep prolonging this storyline. Indy at least is like having more like a character, like more like we can actually identify who she's trying to be. And this is causing a lot of friction with Candice, so that's also good. Like that's interesting to see where it's gonna end. Another thing, Mercedes Martinez was gonna have a match with like an enhancement talent girl. But like Xia Li comes out, she starts beating her up. So like the feud is really intense right here. And I'm liking this because like these two girls, like if they're not fighting for the championship, at least in this, they can make me believe that like can potentially be #1 contender. Right?
Yeah, so, like, and I was just gonna say this match, I do like the intensity, and just because of and no offense to any of these women, but like the importance of this match and this feud, this will probably be the opening match of the show, I would assume. Maybe even a pre-show match, but I feel like because of its place on the card, they're going to really want to go out there, be intense, and kind of be like, hey, follow that. Put on a really good performance. So I'm looking forward to this match because I'm a fan of both these women. And like you said, this match, it was enhancement talent. Boom, she hits her finisher, 1, 2, 3, calls out Xia Li. Thanks for coming, whoever the hell was in the ring, jobber, thanks, here's your hot dog and a handshake, get out of here. But, I'm looking forward to this match, like I said, so good stuff. And again, I'll repeat myself, every match, they really promoted, hyped it up, made you feel excited about it, so, they did a really good job with that.
And I hope that, like, that hot dog had some relish.
Yeah, relish.
Has some relish, so that's fine, great stuff. So now let's move on to, like we said, we're gonna have more information on the $1 Million Man and also LA Knight and DMD. No, same fucking thing, dude. Can they change this stuff? No. But anyway, so like they go in the ring, Cameron Grimes and LA Knight, and they're pretty much trying to convince Teddy DiBiase who has like the most personality, who's ready for that, to carry that legacy of the $1 Million Man. So LA Knight, I'm the guy for the job. I'm the guy. And then the Cameron Grimes, like, they call each other names and all of that, and Ted DiBiase brings the ladder. So that we're going to make it legit. This is going to be a legit match. We're going to make it like as most, exciting for everybody, even for me. So then Cameron Grimes grabs the microphone, because he called him, what, a hillbilly? Or something like that?
Yeah, right? I love when he's like, yeah, you live under a bridge. And he's like, I'm so rich, I live under 2 bridges. Like, it's just good stuff. And like you said, yeah, he calls him a hillbilly, but I just love the end of this when Cameron Grimes got really hyped up, and he's just like, when I'm here in front of these people and everything, he's like, you can't be. He had like a babyface promo at the end, so I did like that from Cameron Grimes, and it makes you also think if you told Cameron, hey, we're not going to have you be goofy anymore, we're going to have you be serious. I think he could also pull that off too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because like the intensity, like you said, when he went from like, and then he's like, okay, no, yeah, you're calling me out, you're calling me names.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna tell you who really I am. Who I really am. So like they said, well, what are we gonna fight for? There's a ladder. We gotta grab something, right? It's not Money in the Bank. It's not like the Casino Battle Royale. It's not like the ladder match on Revolution that like the next day I lose my championship opportunity. No, it's gonna be the $1 million championship. They brought it back. Teddy DiBiase said, the ringmaster, Stone Cold, doesn't even still know till this day who the hell is supposed to be the ringmaster, because every time we see the Broken Skull sessions, I don't know who the ringmaster was, but yet. So, like, at least somebody's going to find out, if this title is valuable or not. So that makes the match even more exciting for me. Tell me, Paul.
I'm excited for it, like, this match is going to be great. LA Knight's fantastic. Cameron Grimes is super exciting. He's really good, too. But just kind of to throw a little question here, what do you think about bringing this title back? To me, now I know they're completely different wrestlers and everything, but just draw some parallels here. Taz, Ted DiBiase, FTW Championship, $1 Million Championship. Both kind of recognized, kind of not recognized as a real championship. They're on the show. We're just going to give it to a guy. You know what I mean? At least this match, they're going to have to earn it. But it kind of gives me like similar vibes here. Like we're going to see Team Ted instead of Team Taz.
It does. The only thing is, like, for example, like you said, they never did anything with it. If you will defend the title, the fuck the world, like, if you defend it, at least, okay, it's the title. It's real. It's legit. But, Brian Cage never, uses it. It's just a prop. He's just a prop. Oh, I'm a champ, man. Champ of what? Nobody knows. You don't defend that. So if they do the same route, if they go like that, like it's a lost opportunity, but if they actually defend it, then, yeah, like it's an addition for it, and then can go toe-to-toe with the North American Championship. Then you can have like a group of guys that fight for it, and then you have the other guys for the North American. So actually, it's good. I will give it to out of this, for me, LA Knight. I mean, Cameron Grimes is, the guy, like you said, like you see more potential in Cameron because he has that duality of being babyface if he wants to, or keep it in the heel. But LA Knight needs that because
I think LA Knight needs to win this, Cameron, because especially with that promo he cut, and who knows how he wins. I mean, how he loses. Maybe DiBiase screws him over somehow or something. That gets a lot of heel heat then on them, and it also gives a lot of sympathy for Cameron Grimes moving forward. He could then maybe go after the North American Championship, or he could go after even the NXT Championship. It don't matter. You could really do something with him.
Exactly. So like that's how they should do it. So really cool stuff. They kind of like a brawl. This is the only thing that, why they have a brawl. Kyle O'Reilly and Karen Kross kind of brawling outside. Poor Regal, like he has to look like a freaking idiot every single show. Stop, no, come on. So I don't like this. I mean, but like they have to like always like follow AEW a little bit. Yeah, you know what? It's like not the whole time, but at least a little bit. So Paul, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I mean, the brawl, it was what it was. I would have rather just seen the main event. It just seemed like what we saw there.
Yeah, we saw it twice. Yes, exactly.
Like you said, they make Regal kind of look like an idiot, and we'll get to the line that Karrion said to him, in the main event. But it is really
make him look like an idiot. Yeah. Exactly. So now let's go to the Young Bucks. Like, they're going to be. Everrise. Like they're going to be at the pre-shows of the pre-show, so they're going to be hosting something. At least it's cool. But like, it's really funny how they keep that gimmick or like this mockery of the Young Bucks. Hey, they have to do something to do for these guys. They do it pretty well. So there you go. They're going to have that. So let's go to the Grills Young Veterans. They went against Austin Gray and another enhancement talent. This was pretty quick, just to like showcase them, to like give them more like hype to what they're going to have, because they're not done with Ciampa and also Timothy Thatcher. They were actually right there and they're by the ring, and they were like sitting down. They were watching the match, but like ticking to mayhem. 1, 2, 3, and done, right? They got a promo, and they were like, hey, we're done with you. I don't know why you guys are still here. We want MSK, and we're through with you guys. And Ciampa and Thatcher's like, you don't get it. It's like, we're not done. So we're going to make it even more interesting. We're going to have it in like tornado tag match. So that's cool. I'm really liking this. Hopefully, Grills Young Veterans go over. I need these guys to go over because they need to win those titles for me. That will solidify. That will make that division even more interesting than ever. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they need to go over, especially because, like we said, they've been on that cusp of, they're going to win the belts. They're going to be the main tag team. They've been right there so many times, and they never get there. And also, they're an actual tag team. Ciampa and Thatcher, just two single guys thrown together. Especially if you have the $1 Million Championship, and that's a recognized belt that will be defended. here are two guys you could throw into that division.
Yes.
You know, or you could throw one of them in the North American, or one of them in the $1 million, one of them in the main event. You know, that you could do more with these guys in the singles division. They don't need to be here in the tag division, especially because we have MSK, we have Legado, we have Hit Row. You know, make some new tag. And I think I said MSK, Grizzly Young Veterans. You know, we have these teams. Build some more actual teams, not just two singles guys, but Tornado tag match, Grizzly Young Veterans, Champion, Thatcher. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of action, and, you know, especially Tornado tag, that means that, like, just going to be all four guys going at each other, so that was really cool. Candice LeRae goes to the ring. She's just talking about crap about Poppy. I guess there's a feud between the two because both of them are really skinny. Who knows? She calls Poppy out. Poppy out is like, I don't wrestle, you know, but I know somebody who does. So Io Shirai returns. This is the only part that I'm scratching my head and I'm like, why? I mean, cool that she's back, but shouldn't you be going against even Frankie or maybe once again Raquel Gonzalez? Why is this, you know, a thing that, like, you have to, like, beat Candice LeRae up? I don't know. I didn't like this because, again, like, Io and Candice have, like, seen each other so many times.
Think, what have a lot of people been saying, joking around, like, what is this, Bad Bunny? Well, you have Io, who's a good worker, who can really carry, and then you have Poppy, who probably doesn't know anything about wrestling, you know, against Indy Hartwell and Candice, because Indy now hates Poppy just as much as Candice does because we saw her hugging Dexter Lumis. I hope they don't do it because that brings all three of these other non-women down, you know, by doing this, especially Io, in my opinion. It brings her from main event to, like, you're just in a joke, you know, bullshit match. Hopefully that's not what they're doing. You know, if you want to do maybe Candice and Io again, you know, just in a singles match, and you have Io go over, get her ready for a feud with Frankie, you know, okay, that's fine, but please don't do a tag match.
Yes, that was the only time that I was like, maybe they didn't quite fit in the whole, you know, synchrony or harmony of the flow.
And you know what? Maybe they saw, hey, look how many viewers and how much merchandise we sold with Bad Bunny stuff. Hey, Poppy, do you want to wrestle?
Oh, you know, a lot of people, like, nowadays talking about Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather. Oh, legit, you know, oh, professional wrestling, you know, at a different level right there. Oh, he punched me, he knocked me out. Stuff like that. Millions of dollars spent in a crappy match. But, you know, we get criticized for, like, talking about this. Just saying. You know, they had a stare down, like Raquel Gonzalez and Io, so you see down the line this is going to happen. So that's cool because that's going to have the rematch. Because really, Raquel has had, like, you know, the first, like, the feud with Mercedes has been okay, but this thing with Amber Moon maybe just put together on the fly. He hasn't really gotten to that climactic point that I actually want to see the match. But, you know, we're going to talk about this because Amber Moon had a match with Dakota Kai, which was good, but once again, you know, like, picture-in-picture takes away a lot of the match. Because, like you said, I just watching two little squares when the girls go at it, so it takes away from me.
Yeah, I mean, this was still good, and it was predictable. Like, they say on commentary, oh, what happens if Dakota wins? That will take all of Ember's momentum away. It's like, well, clearly she won't. You know, you're not going to have the challenger lose going into the pay-per-view. No, that doesn't make sense. But like you said, picture-in-picture, it kind of took away from it a little bit, and, you know, you have the champ out there and everything. She's kind of, I mean, I was fine when she was out there, especially because I did, like, you know, pretty much after the match, and normally I hate the beatdowns and stuff, but see, when you're trying to hype a pay-per-view, that's when you can do the after-match stuff, not just on a regular show or after every segment like on Dynamite.
Yes.
You know, you got to do it where it feels a little special, but, you know, this was all right for what it was, again, to just get you excited, you know, but I just love it at the end, you know, the big eclipse, you know, on Raquel Gonzalez, and Raquel sold the shit out of it. So that was good. You know, are we going to see a two-time NXT Women's Champ? Probably not.
Not at all.
No. But I mean, this match is still going to be good, and at least they have a little bit of a feud. You know, oh, you guys took out Shotzi. You know, I want my revenge. Blah blah blah. Like we said, this is, you know, the reason why Ember came back to NXT was to challenge, you know, for the NXT Women's Championship again in a place where she was actually felt and presented legit.
Exactly. No, I agree with you 100%. So that's how they should have done it, and I liked it. They should have done it this way. I'm really happy about it. And now let's go to the main event because this took place like 9:52, 9:53. Of course, it has to be overrun. Thank you, NXT, because the show needs to end at like 10:10 every single week. Thank you for that. There you go. Karen Kross talking about with Real and Real. He's like, I won the four of them. I won them now. So he's like, you don't run the show. I'm the GM. And I've heard that every single job that I've been in. I've heard those lines before. So I'm like, you know, flashbacks from my, like, labor history, my working history. And, like, you know, what did William Regal say to him?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, that's what Regal said. He's the one. He said, "I'm the GM here," and I love when Karrion's. He's like, "No, you're not." He's like, "You're not the GM." Or I said, "I'm in charge." He's like, "You're not in charge. Clearly, you're not. You know, you haven't been in charge for how long? Because
The
guys,
show is a mess, right?
yeah, exactly. Which it is. You know, we saw abductions. Uzziah Lee was missing for months and being tortured. Nobody was looking for her. You know, there's all this stuff. So Regal really doesn't have control. You know, again in the world of kayfabe and everything. But
Yes.
you know, this was a good promo. In the beginning, you know, he's calling out all of them. See, Kyle O'Reilly when he came out, I don't know what it is. I liked him better when he didn't talk. You know, to me, there's just something that doesn't click
He
with
will
me.
be like,
Yeah, with me. I mean, I'm sure there's other people that think, oh, he's a great promo. You know, he's funny. I don't find him funny at all, to be honest. When he talks, like his jokes he makes, you know. But then, you know, so he runs down Carrie, and he pretty much says like, oh, you know, you're just scared that one day a guy like me is gonna come down there. He says he has thin skin and all this stuff. He's like, you're scared a guy like me is gonna come down there and take your title. And then Gargano, who's just as bad as a promo as a heel, he's very cringy. You know, at least I feel so. You know, oh, sick burn, oh, blah, blah, blah. You're not as good as me. You're not as good as Johnny Wrestling. You're definitely not as good as Johnny Takeover. Oh, why don't you choke out Kyle O'Reilly now? Blah, blah, blah. Then Pete Dunne comes down, all this stuff. And it's like
he was a little better. He was a little better.
Yeah, at least he was a little bit more serious. But you know, it was just, you knew this was all what it was going to be. Everybody was going to have their turn. And then you go, yes. Okay, where's Adam Cole? Boom, he pops up on the screen. And, you know, what does Adam Cole say? Pretty much just like,
pretty much Adam Cole, what Adam Cole was saying is like, you know, I'm not even there because I took care of all the three guys, you know, and now I'm going to like take care of you, Kross. And he says, you know, on Sunday, I don't even need to pin you. I can pin any other of those guys. And if I have to, I will pin you and I will be one more time the NXT champion. You know, and he says, well, I'm not even there. So he kind of like says that he's not there, but like they actually like bring all like the securities. There's a big brawl coming up. Everybody takes care of everybody. You see like super kicks. Karrion Kross at the end seems to get the upper hand. You see it like right here. But then all of a sudden Adam Cole shows up, which is good. I mean, I like that. Him, you know, his character is so different than anybody else in that, you know, thing. And in that match, in the Fatal 5-Way. All of them are like, you know, they have something good, but like Adam Cole just has like 2 more or 3 things that like makes him like, to me, the ace out of that match. He did like the super kick, he did the last shot. Are you excited about this or no?
I mean, I really wish it was just a one-on-one match, and I like the line where, you know, I like the line where Adam Cole says, Karen, the only reason you didn't want one-on-one with me is because you know you couldn't beat me. He's like, you're going to try to pin one of these other assholes or, you know, have them take away from me going after you. And then that's when he said, but I don't even have to pin you. I can pin these other guys. Blah, you know, so this was just really good. Hopefully, we do see if Karrion Kross is indeed going to retain, I'd love to see him one-on-one versus Adam Cole. Because to me, Adam Cole, you know, especially with that promo he cut last week, you know, when he said, what do they do to make you feel special? They give you the entrance. They give you the girl. They give you the music. They give you everything. What do they do for me to make me feel special? They ring the bell. Yeah. So, you know, Adam Cole, and when he said even this week, he's like, I completely annihilated you last week verbally. He did. And he's like, and you didn't do anything. You know, you didn't attack me. You just stood there and took it. So, you know, Adam Cole, I don't know if he's going to win, especially with him holding up the title. That doesn't usually look good. But I want to see him win. And then, hey, move Karrion up to the main roster. I like Karrion. Him and Scarlett are legit. I think Karrion's even more legit now that he's cutting his own promos and talking. But move him up to the main roster because I think that's what they're doing. I think they're fast-tracking him, you know, to get him back up, to get him there.
And that's how the show ended. So, like, we're really excited. And, of course, you know, Robert has, you know, NXT TakeOver in your house. Now, the second one that we do, so, like, it's going to be live. So, please don't forget to join that. We're going to be covering every single move, every single match that we always do. So, this is the review for you guys. Thank you so very much. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. We put content every single time. And don't forget to please, please, please give the video a like so it can go to the moon with, you know, with Cameron Grimes and the $1 Million Championship. Where else can they find us?
And make sure you follow us, Rope Break, on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and, of course, right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
Tomorrow, no content because, you know, we're going to take the day off, but Dynamite will be on Saturday. Don't forget to anybody, where's NXT? Or where's AEW? You know, it's going to be on Saturday because they keep moving it to Friday. It's fine. Family, have a great day. And, you know, you and me have one more thing that is left to say. That is...